Day 3, Swiss round 4, and the date is February 22nd. Save it in your calendar because today we're going to start to send some more teams through to the playoffs. That's right. They will be joining the likes of Liquid and Astralis, who found their way there yesterday, but now some of these teams sitting on the brink at 2-1 being their record will look to lock it in. And of course, here on the desk, we're going to start to lock it in what it is that means entirely. I do have Sean Gares and Chad Burchill with me. And these guys, known for their big brains and known for knowing the game the best.
Before we get stuck into this one, I want to give you guys a little situation. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to really think about this. Okay, so you're at the major. You're playing for a spot in the top 8. You're ready. You've had a really close game against Na'Vi. You've taken them to the wire. Simple, the best player in the world. You pushed them. Now,
really
I've given you one more game, one best of 3. You just have to win this to get through, and the name is Renegades. How bloody happy would you be to hear that?
Except in this time right here. Yeah, I mean, you know what, Chad? As much as you just want to just not see the Renegades succeed, at this point, it is going to be the Renegades taking on Vitality.
The point here.
Well, Chad,
the point here is Renegades getting to this stage, like I said, have exceeded expectations. And that means that Vitality now have a shot where they're going to be extremely happy about going up against a team like Renegades to make it through to the top 8.
Well, you said it yesterday, and I think you were completely onto a point there. That was they have exceeded expectations. You just said it again, and I think you're exactly right. But they can't stop here. They're right at the cusp.
Yeah, I mean, it is luck going in Vitality's favor, the fact that they've had good matchups. I mean, because of the upsets teams like Renegades have been able to achieve. So they find themselves in this situation now where they get the benefit of playing Renegades in a best of 3 to advance.
Yeah, if you look at the resume of the teams that Vitality have beaten to get to this point, they haven't actually beaten any world beaters, right? And they only have to take down Renegades. I'm saying only have to take down Renegades who are playing in phenomenal form, but it doesn't feel like a feat that is actually too far outside of their grasp. But this might be the first time they really have to brawl.
They might have to brawl, and we actually do know what the vetoes look like. We've got Dust 2, Cash, and Inferno coming your way. The fire being there in the end. And in the beginning, it will be Dust 2. And as the dust settles on what is this moment, we're going to take a dive down memory lane as one of the most iconic maps will be kicking off this series.
Spawn-based play is the name of the game for teams who want to bombard their opponents with violence, speed, and momentum. Dust 2 presents an abundance of options for this style of Counter-Strike compared to the other maps in the competitive circuit. Economy, utility, and spawns all become huge factors in the brawl for long control. The never back down approach can see both teams go for all-in plays where the round is won or lost in an instant. Perfectly practiced and placed utility is the difference maker. Will it be this well-drilled smoke flash combo? Will it be this stifling incendiary? Or will it be the unsung hero, the supportive flashes?
That's right, Dust 2 is the first battleground we're going to find ourselves on, and I can't think of a better map to see just how volatile these players can be on an individual basis. However, it is important to note that the Renegades are starting on that CT side.
Which they're going to need because they're not very proficient on this map. We haven't seen them play it in a long time, but in the past, I guess, they weren't so bad with Gratisfaction opping that A-bomb site. I don't know if things have changed in their boot camp, but Vitality's a whole nother beast compared to...
They must have known this is going to come in, right?
Yes.
They do ban Overpass, so they know at some point someone's going to step up with either the nuke pick, which they've been well prepared for, and Dust 2. So I'm expecting more of the same, but going up against Zywoo on the other side of things for Gratisfaction, it's going to be hard to handle, and here's why. Zywoo, in the European minor, highest rated player. If I go over to see him during the Challenger stage, right, he was the 3rd highest rated player. And right now in the tournament, he is the 5th highest rated player, and Apex is actually the 4th highest rated player. So the French are putting up some big numbers right now.
I mean, we're putting them up there in terms of numbers alongside of players like Device and Coldzera, who are number 1 and 2 right now currently within the tournament.
To be fair, I think Renegades would be up there as well if they didn't play a best of 3 against Astralis and get blown out on 2 maps.
True. That doesn't help the stats whatsoever, does it? I mean, yeah, that blowout there, yikes. Anyway, guys, we know Dust 2 to be that battleground. And Chad, you look troubled. What's wrong?
I'm just thinking because, sure, Renegades, they get the choice here because this is actually the pick of Vitality. I'm surprised they didn't go with the T side and try and punish the slower start because when we've seen Vitality play in the past, that B bomb site is a weakness. I think that it can actually be exploited. I think that they did struggle to hold that with the core that they had over there. And if you can avoid Zywoo, who tends to be floating around with the AWP, you're going to be getting some favorable duels because it's not just the Zywoo show, but the other players haven't shown up in the same regard other than Apex.
You talk about other players players. I got two more of them right here on the head-to-head on your screen right now, Azur and NBK. Now, both these guys play very pivotal and crucial roles within their teams. We have talked about it time and time again as to what Azur has done over there with the Renegades, obviously showing some face here at the Major and having to pick up the leadership role and having a spectacular new pair of glasses. But on top of all of that, maybe we switch over and talk about NBK and what it is that they've got going on in Vitality.
NBK has really stepped it up along this Major run. He was one of the highest rated players in the Challenger stage, actually, right behind ZywOo. In this stage, he struggled a little bit, but I do respect the strategies he's brought to this team.
Yeah, at this level of competition, the mid-round calling becomes a lot more difficult, and NBK is still a newer in-game leader, which, like, for me, was one of the hardest things to do. I don't know about you, Sean, but mid-round in-game leading was actually some of the hardest.
Well, I'm going to let you guys finish that sentiment, but we do have something bigger on the cards. I'd let you guess, but ultimately, I'm just going to tell you what's about to happen. We're going to get these teams situated and sitting down because it's about time to get this game underway. Let's do it. Let's head down to the stage right about now.
Versus one. Denied here. Oh my goodness. She has a chance here. This is unbelievable. One versus one now. That is so sick.
And taken to the stage now will be that of the Renegades of Vitality. That would be our first best of 3 of the day. A 2-1 game here as we barrel down the Swiss system, round 4, starting with these two teams. Now we're talking a little bit about NBK and what he has to offer with his team, but perhaps we talk about Vitality as a whole. We talk about what firepower ZywOo is. You can call him what you will.
ZywOo. It's definitely ZywOo. That's settled. It's ZywOo every single time. I don't want to ever hear ZywOo ever again.
People get upset.
They're wrong. Those people are wrong. I don't want to hear ZywOo ever again. It's ZywOo.
Okay.
It's decided and it's done.
There's already enough hype going on the stage for us to really just get ecstatic here over ZywOo. Anyway, Chad, talk to me about Vitality.
Look, these guys were a 5v3 away from qualifying, away from beating Na'Vi and putting themselves in a chance to go 3-0. They would have had to have gone up against Liquid. They probably would have found themselves in a similar position anyway. But the fact that they pushed a team like Na'Vi to the distance, they've been taking it step at a time and proving themselves as a team. They've definitely rebuilt. This is the most well-structured I've ever seen a French team look, because back when the French in their heyday, it was either Kenny kill everybody or run around with Tech Nines and have Happy Lurk. This is actually a well-rounded team.
Now, I mean, this French super team, as we'll call it, right? I mean, people want to tout who is the actual French super team at the time.
There's no French super team.
Okay, thank you, Chad. There's a lot of talk about what is going on within the French team.
Sure.
One guy that's very vocal about it and sometimes even overstepping would be that of Mr. Shields. You might know him as Thorn type. Now, take yourself out of the shoes you find yourself in right now, Sean Garris. Put yourself into Duncan's shoes and tell me what you think he would say about this Vitality lineup.
Even though he's not here, he would probably start with, here's the thing, Rich. Now, Vitality has looked very strong. Their map pool's very solid, but they're missing a piece. I think we need to add existence in here. And then he'd say a bunch of edgy stuff, and he'd put a beak face at the end.
And yes, the beak face would be the caveat there. Now, Chad, would you happen to agree?
I don't think existence is
good,
by any means. I think that what they're doing so far as a unit is good, and players are growing into their roles. Do I think you could upgrade some players if you grab someone from G2? Sure. But this team right now is what we're dealing with, and they've shown a good depth in map pool, and Dust 2 is one of the maps that they've played quite a lot online, and they have a pretty good win percentage.
Yeah, and I really want to go with the boys here, too, when we start to think about this one, because on the other side is those Renegades, is that New Zealander, the first ever Kiwi to get an ace in the major, so I'm told. And, well, Chad, how does that make you feel? You feel proud of these guys?
No, I always predict against Renegades, and I'm going to do it again today because I don't want to jinx them. So with these guys, they've come a very long way, but I think that the boot camp has elevated their level to somewhere where a lot of the other teams haven't caught up to. They basically went into the hyperbolic time chamber for a longer period of time than anybody else. They boot camp before the minor. They had 10 to 12 days before the minor and the challenger stage, and they've got a lot done in that time. They've been able to play against a lot of Europeans. They've learned very quickly, and it appears everybody is on the same page and in a good mental standing. So that's why we're seeing such good performance out of these guys. They're playing at 100%.
Yeah, I think you described boot camping in the perfect manner. It's literally like being in a hyperbolic time chamber in Counter-Strike.
Can be scary.
Yeah.
Can be very scary.
These teams outside of Europe that don't have all of those teams to practice against, when they come to Europe, they get so much better.
Yeah, and it's that just pure exposure to what is the European Counter-Strike monster that's been around for ages now, if not decades upon decades. But this matchup will determine the fate of who moves on into the playoffs. It's going to be Team Vitality taking on the Renegades here in the opener of the day, a best of 3, and we're kicking it off with Dust 2. Henry Greer and Matthew Trivet. Take it away, boys.
Thank you so much, Trace. I feel for you sometimes. It feels like you're doing some babysitting over there, but animosity, disagreements on who's going to win this game. I'm not sure where I lean either, though, to be completely honest. Renegades certainly are performing way beyond expectations. Vitality are coming into their own. Where do they meet?
I'm not sure. Dust 2 is an interesting prospect, absolutely. I think Renegades have the edge in the best of 3, but Vitality, a French team on Dust 2, is always going to be scary. And here we go towards long, a 5-man commitment from Renegades, trying to open things up towards the side. They're taking a lot of damage here. RPK sits strong on the side, but he can't hit the shots, but Renegades certainly can. It looks like they've got the round in the bag, as there's a flurry of headshots here. It's up to MBK and Alex to try and retake the site. Not going to happen, Matthew.
Not at all. So Renegades take the first pistol. Leaz gets the closing kill, bomb planted on top of it, so they had things pretty well under control the whole time through. As I was going to force onto a scout immediately. That says something, doesn't it, about the CT side?
It absolutely does, and ZywOo can cause some damage here. I like the idea of force buying on the CT side of Dust 2. You can do a lot of damage with the scout. You might want to pick middle and see if you can get some tags in. Set your pistol players up for some easy kills. We'll see if that comes through. They're not actually force buying, just to note that. They got PD50s, and yes, ZywOo will pick middle, seeing what's available to him, and it's a bullet in the head, unfortunately, as Gratisfaction and another keen sniper will have the upper hand here.
BK peeking it out. They're certainly at long. Backed off of it, but they'll go back to the site, naturally go for the elevator boost rather than trying to wrap around. RPK puts 2 players up, in fact, and they have one on Cat, so they've got a stack on this side of the map. Losing that initial exchange, it's MBK that wants to follow up with the scout. Couldn't find the headshot along the wall. Smoke goes down, and Gratisfaction finds him instead, looking pretty solid to take out the heavy weapons. They just need to spot the man behind the boxes, and Jacob does that by wrapping around. He's already cleared off Catwalk. Very controlled. Renegades.
Nice work from Renegades. You're absolutely right there. They keep all 5 players alive. There is going to be a buy from Vitality here. However, ZywOo buying the scouts in the previous round means he'll be limited to maybe an SMG or a pistol here. We'll see which way he's inclined. But it's a scout again. Okay, I like it. And we'll see what he can do. Gratisfaction will keep his scout, of course, and this is a chance for Renegades to be up against some players without helmets here. So that MAC-10 could do a lot of damage. That was a nice shot, wasn't it? Gratisfaction getting it done. It's all about the snipers here on Dust 2. Spawn-based gameplay with a lot of head-to-head duels with the scopes. We'll see if ZywOo can start to look alive here. He's going to have his work cut out for him with just this scout on the CT side.
Molotov already over top of the doors. Jacob can't go through and cleared out the backside. That was the intention. He just gets the angle lined up, finds 2 more on the AK. Alex does get has it back, mind you, though. JKS was phenomenal against Astralis yesterday, specifically in map 1.
Yes, he looked very good. Probably career best form, and that's saying something. In terms of his entry ability, his clutch potential, it's really crazy to see how good that player can be. But Alex, for now, is in the 3 versus 1. He has had a very good tournament by his standards, and we'll see whether he can do anything in this situation. He has no kit, no utility, the bomb's going down, and his best option maybe to push this smoke and see what's available to him. And he does that because once the player's planting the bomb, you know at least one of those players is removed for 4 seconds. So trying to get the jump on them didn't work out, and that's Jacob with a massive round there. It's currently 6-0 as we head into round number 4, and this is the nightmare situation for Vitality. Your money's all over the place with ZywOo buying that scout in the 2nd round. You didn't have the full buy in the 1st gun, and now not really much done at all. Didn't save any weaponry. They're going to have to take the full eco here as they can maybe get some deagles. That's about it, and we'll get into round 4. Staying true to the snipers, here comes Gratisfaction. Have the AWP this time, and the CTs will challenge long, waiting for any activity. They'll flash out and see if they can steal away a couple of kills. There's the flash, but Jacob ready for it. He continues his rampage here in the 1st map.
As drops the bomb so he can enter. Go around the corner, double Molotov toward the car again. Molotovs do stack in this game, so that's a massive amount of damage. Fortunately, from Vitality's perspective, no one standing there. Although there might not be anyone standing left in just a moment at all, because Apex is already on 13, he's gone. And Alex is on top of the site with the P250 in hand. He'll look toward Azza and quickly gets removed. 4-0. Again, very efficient. The money, it's not massive because we did have one contested round, but it's 2 rounds in hand at least for Renegades already, and we're only on round 5.
Well, we see a double AWP setup here. MBK back in the day was a main AWPer, and indeed he will be bringing out this round. So exciting stuff. We'll see what he can do here. We'll be joining ZywOo. And Dust2, it does allow you to have one player in the B bomb site. You have the AWP at the window, at the back of the site, set him up like a turret. And we'll see if Renegades want to keep going for faster gameplay here. They've got a lot of momentum behind them. And MBK, as you can see, the only player towards B. So a lot of responsibility, but it's absolutely fine. It means they can really boost their chances towards long, which is a massive bit of real estate on the map there. Going to get a player in towards a pit, and then they can fall some players back and focus towards short and middle.
So Apex does fall off of mid immediately. Jacob's still trying to spray through and see if he spots Azza. He won't get a chance at it either. They'll go passive in middle. And a lot of the talk when Dust was being remodeled, reskinned, was about the mid to B. Keep that in mind as this game goes on, as you have to go so passive. It's not holding B directly inside of the site that's hard. It's when you exploit both entrances. It's just so much to look at. Good opening shot from the first op. ZywOo, he's the primary. He'll fall off the angle as well after getting one. Cat goes to the car, expecting them to commit a little bit further, but they'll slow the pace down on the Renegade side. Perhaps go still wide. Smoke entry is not uncommon in that position. You kind of smoke yourself into the site. I think that's exactly what we're going to see from Jacob.
They are setting up smokes right now. They still have time, as we'll see Alex with that bomb.
This might be a smoke drop. They've smoked CT on one side, bomb still at mid. Azza might just drop straight down and try and wrap underneath, but he's already caught. Alex got behind the door. That's exactly the play they were going for. They wanted to work back to B and cut off the rotation with the drop, but it doesn't work. Everyone in a perfect position, and ZywOo hit a very crucial shot.
He hit a few. He managed to get the opening kill towards short as well, remove their sniper. Gratisfaction taken out of the equation, going for the B split. Renegades is a very common strategy, but one that's very effective. Smoking towards CT spawn, but as you can see, Alex waiting on the other side of the doors. He wasn't flashed, and they were Molotoving that before as well. You can actually flush that position out, give it a wall bang as well before you go, but Alex in position, ready to go, hits the shots that really counts. And this is a chance now for Vitality to start showing us what they're capable of. They really need a few rounds in a row, break the economy of Renegades before they can start showing us how aggressive they can be. Dust2's all about reaction play. If you lose long, for example, you need to be pushing up a B. And for those sort of rounds to come through, you do need to have a bit of cash to start taking some risks, as Renegades will take one themselves now. Going for a long take here. RPK on the corner, but he should be flashed at this point. He doesn't see it coming, so we'll have to fall back. He's only got the AUG at this stage, so does he want to stay any longer? Looks willing to challenge it. Flashbang coming in from ZywOo. And there's a smoke on the corner, means the CT can't really have full vision as they make their way through.
So tagged very briefly. Faction will take the initiative to drop inside of the pit. Wasn't spotted from car. ZywOo was wide side of that smoke. But just as he went back in was when Gratisfaction dropped, and even still he doesn't peek far enough. He might have had the lineup, now knows he's there. Certainly is aware of the fact that they're going to be entering from long. Flash, oh, Molotov's missed. It bounced off. They wanted to push him out. They do get him off. He likely would have hit the first shot either way because he was already lined up for it. So really it makes no difference, but it might have forced a little more pressure on his ZywOo.
Yeah, good point. Miss Molotov, always to be a little bit frustrating, but they get the trade. Still an advantage for Renegades in that respect. They've got Alex on the A side, has to make his way towards quad. He needs to find a kill here. Pressure from short coming in as well. JKS nails it. Apex in a horrible position there, and the CT's getting pincered. This is classic Dust2 gameplay here. You want to get that long control first, have a lurk out. Perfect player for that. JKS, someone who can handle themselves alone towards a short position, just as your teammates commit towards the A side. The CTs are rotating in, and they've got to focus on the side itself. That's when JKS sneaks up, manages to pincer the side. You saw that player at quad, didn't stand a chance, couldn't even face towards the A ramp. So JKS doing a very good job in that regard. It is going to be a reset, but remember, Vitality kept almost everyone alive in the round they won. So they'll take a tactical timeout here and work out what the play is going to be. ZywOo's low, but Alex and RPK, they could buy into this one. I think take the eco in. Let's focus on the big picture and try and win our gun rounds instead of the classic French style of buying up too much in that sort of situation.
Well, you're only going to get 1900 next round, so if you do forcefully into this, you're in a really precarious situation.
Yes.
Potentially going down 7-1. Try and build your bank back in. Get toward that double up next round if you save this. Just barely, I should say. It'd be pretty tight. Alex, excuse me, and RPK would be able to force that.
So they will take the eco.
Yeah, good call. 5-1, just to note as well. Fantastic for Renegades, but Vitality's not really getting a lot of kills in, so again, they continue to build up that bank. They've got another buy in hand, probably 2, even at this point. They've been exploiting long quite a bit. Mid hit a few times. It's also where they lost the only round, but we haven't really seen them go through the B tunnels to make contact on B as of yet. The reason I mentioned that is because Apex and MBK are getting a little bit closer this time with the pistols, but at what point do they decide they want to start pushing in? This round it makes sense with pistols, but can they get away with this on rifles?
That's the big question. You know, they need to understand how Renegades approach the situation. But as you can see, Renegades now have got a perfect setup here for an anti-eco. Alex, watched by Azza as well. They've got everything covered. This is a really nice dust too so far from Renegades. I couldn't really poke any holes in it at all. They've got nice mid-round calls. They've got great fraggers, classic plays. Nothing too flashy or technical in terms of set-piece executions, but they're hitting their shots. They're working as a unit. They're trading very well, and they're not giving up weapons to the Deagles and PT-50s, which is very important. It gets teams like Vitality fired up if they win a Deagle round. So you want to avoid that at all costs. Zaiwu will be dropped the AWP. This time not the double AWP setup. Certainly didn't have the cash for that. And as you can see now, no helmets on the CD side and no kits, more importantly, as they enter the next round, number 8. They're 6-1 down on the CT side. There's question marks around the Renegades dust suit. Haven't really seen it yet, but Gratisfaction hits Apex. That's so gutting. You can see him just rolling his eyes. It's such an annoying thing to go down at the start of the round.
Shot from Laz. Azza picks it up as well, and down goes RPK. So Azza finding the kill.
And Apex is already low as well.
Oh,
it's all gone wrong.
I have to commend them because I was thinking it, which means they were thinking it. If you push B, certainly with pistols, it's viable. They were set up for that. They had a perfect read on what Vitality was going to do, and that might put doubt in their mind, even if they don't go B with the gun rounds, whether or not they continue to push forward. We know that the French teams in the past have been very good Dust 2 specialists. Kenny comes to mind, Shocks comes to mind. We know as well, famously, they have pushed into the tunnels quite a bit. RPK used to do it a lot. Body's done it tons.
Well, that is the calling card of the French team on this map, is aggression usually. They like to push speed, they like to push short, they like to get in your face and stop you running your defaults. They're not getting any frags right now. Renegades are shutting them down. They're getting tagged through the door. They're getting 2 picks along, but they don't panic. They don't overcommit. They don't just rush to the site. They're bleeding out the CTs for everything they have before they finally commit, and they're going to go as a 4-man unit up towards long. How do you shut that down? How do you make a huge play? Because they're not making mistakes right now. This is the way to play it. No one's pushing in by themselves. No one's hunting for a frag and thinking it'll probably be fine. They're guaranteeing this round, and you can see the CTs are actually saving here, but Renegades making sure they use the utility, crossing safely, and keeping the money as strong as they possibly can. They're going to keep 5 players alive here, and they can justify going for a little hunt as well, seeing if they can get even 1 or 2 kills towards B.
Op already ready from Gratisfaction, so they'll hold on to the guns that they have. To note as well, Frankie pointed this out this morning. She's been doing a lot of research on the teams, obviously. 2 of the highest rated players in this event, Zaiwu and Apex. Zaiwu sits with 3 kills right now, kind of holding his own considering the situation. Hasn't had to use the AWP much, hasn't had the opportunity to do so. 6-1 down. Okay, fair enough. But Apex sits at 0-6 right now.
And it's not getting any better for him as soon as he crosses it to B. Like we said, frustrating. This is the hunt coming through. This is certainly justified. Zaiwu, he'll get another one maybe, but no. Such a great round from Renegades. That couldn't be better. I can't stress that enough. They are looking sharp this morning.
I thought he was going to hit multiple with 1 shot there. That's why I held my breath for a second.
Even if he got 3, and then as long as they get the kill, it's worth it, because Zaiwu's potential, as we know, he's the star player of the team. If he saves that 1 AWP, that could actually be a round win for Vitality going forward. He is aggressive enough and powerful enough to actually make those rounds happen. So you want to get it out of him, even if it costs you 2 or 3 frags, and it only costs them 1. So that's absolutely fantastic. And now Vitality will have to take another eco. This is just so agonizing for them. As no real special setup going in here. I think they're pushing towards shorts with 2 players, but what can you really do? It's not the sort of map that P250s can really surprise, especially with Renegades playing the way they are. They're just in cruise control right now, looking very comfortable.
double boost position at Cat. Who slips out from underneath of RPK. We don't talk about that angle where you can quickly drop off. I wanted to try and play it. Might bait RPK in. They might change it up. It's not common you see the boost on the ledge. I was curious to see how that would transpire. RPK does come out, gets damage, gets a dink onto Jacob, but can't convert the kill. And again, Renegades just going to run over the site. JKS this time on the lurk. He'll take down the 2 remaining players. No guns lost because they didn't have any that time, but it's massive lead from Renegades at this point in time. Talked about the reset a few rounds ago. It's now back up to 4 rounds, so Vitality's going to have money to work with.
This has been one of the best T sides I've seen a Dust 2 in a long time. I know we're barely halfway through it, but just the way they're approaching every situation, you can see that boot camp and Kassad coming in, it's really working out for them. The theory side of the game seems excellent.
That's what I was going to say. It's not that Renegades suddenly have become better individually. All 5 players boot camped, and oh my god, they DM'd thousands of hours. No, they're still the same players. It's everything else that's working for them. The coordination, the timing, everything seems right.
It's nothing too technical. It's just core fundamentals of Dust 2. Everything that I normally preach about on this map, and it's been the same for the last 10 years, essentially the way it plays out. The strategies haven't changed. You got to look back to Source compared to CSGO, and the way this map has evolved in this version of the game. The tactics are pretty much the same. The way the CTs rotate is pretty much the same. And right now, Renegades are taking the best of all of that and making it work very, very well. So ZywOo, he managed to hit these shots towards short before, not managing to this time. It's going to cost the CTs a bit of utility, and Renegades don't lose anyone here. So they know they've lost vision towards short now, and Azadus walks out middle. This will be the B split. See the bomb upper tunnels right now, MBK to defend. That is not a prime spot for multiple frags here. He needs to be very careful. The AWP faces him, he's going down, and there it is. That's not the angle you want to be holding when you know there's an AWP up especially, and they just get mowed down. This is not looking good for Vitality. You want to be holding a crossfire. You don't want to actively challenge that tunnel like that. I know the AWP is powerful, but when the AWP is up, he's always going to pick that angle first. Like, that's the way it goes down. If you're walking in contact with the B, send the AWP first.
Vitality just not getting any duels done, not getting anything on the board, really. It's reminiscent of the start of the Challenger stage when I was skeptical of whether they would even make it to this portion of the event, if they would survive week 1.
Well, the hunt can take place once again. Sound the horns map.
It's an absolutely important hunt because we already touched on the fact that ZywOo's not really getting kills, largely in part due to the fact that he's not at the AWP. So why would you give him a chance to do that? Just take it out of his hands every single time. Apex, by the way, there's our hand warmers. There they are. I don't know the name. Someone tweeted me the name of those yesterday, but yeah, they're designed to be there. That way we don't have exploding hand warmers, corrupting and corroding gear, and getting all over our mouse pad, causing delays. Apex is 009. 23 ADR.
They're not turning up today. They look very flat and normally such a staple of the French scene, Dust 2. And I can see a very strong long spawn coming in. That's going to be on Jacob. So, Mr. Observer, stay on Jacob next round, please. He's going to put on a show for us. He is looking crispy today, and he's going to take that long spawn, no problem. Like the video said before this game, Dust 2 is based all around the spawns ready. It's one of the few maps you can really say that about at all in the entire pool. Maybe Cash to some extent on the T side of the mid pick. But
if your Opera gets B, CT as well, if he wants to drop Heaven.
Yeah, but you get that long spawn, there's no strategy at this point. Jacob's going to take it. You might even drop in the AWP, but he'll be happy to take the AK there, considering their money's low. He'll commit to it towards corner. You jump over like that, and you can be flashed over. I prefer to let them see me, just so they know what's going to happen before they die, but flashes work too.
Just so the last vision in their mind is my scorned face.
But he takes the long spawn here, and they get full control. So they get information already. They know that the CTs are either stacked towards B or short, and right now it's 3 on the short position.
JKS just waiting as well to see if they will push through, if they'll respond again as they did on the last time they had pistols. So again, Renegades being very passive. This time, though, it's going to be aggression toward Catwalk. We haven't seen this yet. And JKS down on the stairs. No one's spotting mid yet. They could have snuck through, but they'll recheck it. Smart consideration. Everything is being covered off by Renegades. They leave no holes in their attack. Defensive attack, as it is in this case. And Alex is now left alone over on the A side of the map, which is where they are accumulating, naturally, where they are heading with the bomb. He'll stay down on the ramp towards CT. Molotov's already down in front of him. They clear the opposite corner. There is a bit of a gap behind the Molotov. He tries to take advantage, but that just cues in Aza as he walks in from Catwalk, standing in the open. Easy headshot.
Has Apex managed to frag yet? No, 0-0-9. And for a player like that, who's someone who's highly invested and emotional within the game, it's going to be on your mind. Just knowing that you haven't got that one kill yet, you're not fragging, you're one of the big names of the squad, and you just can't get anything done. You're getting ran over. You missed a shot there. That was a difficult kill from the scout, but it just gets in your mind, right? Nothing's working out for you. You're getting tagged as you cross. Your teammates are dying before you can rotate, and Renegades just putting on an absolute clinic here. 10-1. Vitality being made to look very, very average at this point. But to be fair, it's nothing they're necessarily doing wrong. It's what Renegades are doing right at this stage. They're just looking so in tune with the map. And it's weird because we don't actually get to watch Dust that often, so I don't get to talk about this a lot. But I guess this is why teams are scared to play it, because it can be a high-fragging affair on the CT side if you don't get going. High-skilled teams like Renegades can take you down and run away with it.
Just to note, I call that Apex. Obviously, that's going to kill you. That's a change. All right, Apex, thank you very much. Just as we queue him in. I was going to say, I called him out for ADR, though. No one on the French side has more than 49 ADR. Apex might take the lead for ADR with those 2 kills, to be completely honest.
Still have to win this round. Certainly recoverable on the T side. Plenty of time. And Gratisfaction's been hitting almost all of his shots. Zywo on short. Gratisfaction didn't quite spot him. We'll be Molotoving him back then, so that's going to be rustling some feathers.
Just to note as well, the last round they lost, the only round they lost on the Renegade side, was a double kill at mid doors by Alex. This time it's Apex, same position. So that seems to be the one place where they get a little bit zealous walking through, but that's a stellar Molotov. Forcing Zywo. Alex was already caught in the open. They follow it up, and Azza with range on Apex. He goes down, but it's RPK on the site, turning and closing. He'll get 3 to drop the bomb. Finally, something for Vitality, but they need to avoid the reset.
Not a comfortable round, though, is it? That's an RPK star play. 360 turret on this side. The tank comes into action, but you can't rely on that every single time. That was not convincing. The fact that 5-on-3 came down to what looked like a very winnable situation for Renegades is still quite a scary situation. Azza, what a great shot on the A side he found, but RPK steals the show. Plenty of money, of course, as Gratisfaction will not do damage this time. They're definitely making sure they smoke the cross. And they'll send players towards short once again. And going to boost the AWP down towards lower B. This can be great. And JKS probably going down here. We'll see. Is he going to be aware of it? You normally want to be... So the standard Dust 2 default is your player gets ready in lower B. You get a flash from top and middle. The flash is short and pushes that AWP back. And maybe, I'm sure, something they've worked on but didn't deploy there. But that will lead to a CT frag.
Zywo flashing. He gets countered, though. He wanted to try and get a peek off it. Perhaps RPK could have used that to his advantage. He'll take the smoke advantage instead. Above them. Ooh, Grat, he's so low. He gets caught out, but RPK, he stands tall yet again. Another 3 kills from the same position, and it's 2 in a row for Vitality.
2 in a row, but they've still got 5 digits on every single player. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? And it goes to show you how much money they've built up. But either way, 10-3. If Vitality can get a 10-5 scoreline, they are actually back in this, by the way. Yes, Renegades have looked very good so far, but if RPK starts making those sort of plays, it's going to kind of rile everyone up and get them into the game. They're a passionate squad. When they start winning, you'll know about it. As Gratisfaction once again going for the initial damage. He's been lucky in this respect that Zywo hasn't had the confidence to face him towards middle. You don't see many CTs do it, but Zywo, I would have thought, would be a player that goes for it occasionally. He goes towards B this time. Has got backup from Apex towards the window. Does Zywo want to get in there and see if he can take down a player holding in the default position? That's going to be JKS. He's waiting for that play, though. You can see him positioning in a very nice spot. And this is the counter that boost we talked about. Gratisfaction is actually on his teammate's head right now, looking towards short, knowing that potential was there last round.
Jacob waiting to Molotov out again. This is the position where they've lost 2 on 2 occasions, so clearing behind the doors before they can get up. And an angle to catch them running through. Gratisfaction, he'll take the op and do the same to the left side of middle, but Alex is still inside of CT and not smoked off as of yet. Keep that in mind. If they want to push through, they still have to use more utility. They might have cleared the immediate threat, but not so much as to execute inside of middle. Zywo. I asked if it would take a while, and if they would push with rifles at B. I didn't expect it would be the AWP to do so. He's already inside of dark.
Now, this is not a standard play.
No, not at all.
This is an ambitious one, but I love it. This is the sort of stuff Zywo needs to be doing, and that's exactly why. He steals away a kill, and everyone's going to be like, what the hell? Where did that come from?
I mean, it obviously came from there, but why? Why is the op there, of all places? It does cue them to go. If they know the op's that far away and he's going to safely rotate back, they need to go on the A site, but they're set up accordingly. Alex and NBK to follow with his second. Takes down the players on the side of the bomb as well. Vitality finally getting some form. It seems like they're coming into their own now, getting the crossfire set, winning the important duels, and ZywOo, I admire it, I do, with the op, taking matters into his own hands.
That's the kind of stuff we need to see from him, though, the lack of respect. They can't just sit back in their defaults and let Renegades run through their map, have a player towards short, 4 along. You just can't allow that to happen. You do need to make some plays and making sure that can't happen. But just to note, Renegades have not had to eco a single round of this first half. They have had guns since the pistol.
Yes.
They're absolutely fine. And we're going to see all the snipers come out right now. This is why we love Dust 2. Wow. As the action takes place, ZywOo taken down very early on by the auto sniper of Jacob. You will not use that weapon in the gun round. You just throw it away. That's all it's good for. But they've tagged up Apex as well. He's had a nightmare trying to cross over to that B side, and right now he's alone on 30 HP.
Yeah, being alone on B, you can't really justify pushing it because you leave mid so open.
They do need to react to something, though. Something has to go.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm surprised it took them so long to identify that they needed to take some map control, and that A was shut down every time. Mid, sure, they were winning it, but you can't really push through mid. Yeah. You might be able to do it really early in a round, but that's a bold move.
That's the Molotov.
Pushing B, I think, should have happened sooner.
Well, Apex at this point, he's picked up the orb. He's low HP. He's going to position himself at the back of the platform there. That's the best position he can possibly hold at this point. He needs to just find a frag and push them back towards A because he can't hold off a full attack. And neither can Alex, it seems, as another kill comes through. MBK, Molotov towards short, but it's not going to buy him a ton of time because there's still 55 seconds here, and he's actually dropped back. RPK, this is the reactive play we talked about, but he has been spotted. This kill is absolutely vital. If he can pick this up, there might be a chance still. He's found it. It's round 15, remember, as the time ticks away. It's Azza barreling his way onto the site, and MBK can't hit the shot. It's RPK still along, and they know that.
Swings out, looks toward
ambitious
catwalk. Yeah, very, with 3 players already there. He's been a hero a few times on the A side. It won't be this round, and I don't think this round will go to Vitality either. It looks like 11-4 is a certain finish. So with that, Apex does what he can to salvage maybe a bit of pride. Does find 2. In fairness, he does need the pride to be salvaged. He's up to 5 kills. He's tied now, MBK and Alex, so can't call him out any longer. But good positioning. Azzer in the corner. Apex. Ooh, I thought he was going to consider it. He actually looked right by him and up to the heavens. And that makes it, as stated, 11-4 for Renegades. Fantastic. They look excellent in this event.
They really do. I have to say it's one of my favorite T-side of Dust 2 I've casted in a long time. They've got everything locked down. The strategies and theory seems to be absolutely rock solid. Can they keep this up and close it out? You'll have to find out after this break.
11-4 for Renegades. Yes, Kassad very much should be applauding his troops. They've done extremely well in this event. Something that comes to mind as well, if they are playing this well, if they are exceeding expectations, and they're doing so tactically, the sooner, if they are to make the top 8, they can do so. If they win this series, the more days they have off, the more they can use that to prepare and continue that good form. As soon as they play them longer, don't get that practice, maybe the bad habits come back in. So this could be really important to win now.
Yeah, they were denied the 3-0 by Astralis, but the only team so far to take a map off them. So that's significant. Their morale's be very high right now. They look destined for the round of 8. We'll see if they can continue their dominance here on Dust 2. It's looked very good so far, but the CT side can be very difficult to handle. They lose a pistol, they find themselves in a similar situation where their money's limited. This could actually be a bit of a comeback. You can never count Vitality out these sort of situations, as they have 2 smokes right now, a P250, no armor on MBK. As they set themselves up, they've got the long control here. They're going to be smoking towards the CT spawn. You can do it a little bit deeper, or you can do it like this, which signs on the crossover. So you're going to have 2 of those. That's going to cover their cross, and it's pretty much the exact same strategy Renegades did in their pistol.
Let's see if it works out for Vitality. Did the same fashion. Remember, it was a bomb down and a sweeping clear toward Catwalk. That's what RPK's already done, but JKS with the boost behind the smoke finds one in return. That boost is very, very clever. It always works so well, so long as the smokes are down. It's a great counter to them. No bomb plant as of yet, but that ensues immediately because they're already pushed off toward middle. So 3 to retake on Cat alone. Apex, he could cut that all off. He could push down. They've gotten by him, so it's not like he's held them up, stalled them, if you will, in mid. But if MBK can stall them now, he certainly will be in position to take them out of it. Before Zaiwu already finds a kill. Now Apex steps up. Locked in at quad. JKS knows he's got to get aggressive, and inevitably, with 2 players firing at him, he goes down. It is a round for Vitality.
Oh, there we go, a little dance from Apex as well. Massive round for them to pick up. Like we said, it's interesting that they do almost a replica of the Renegade strat. Get long control, double smoke, and find headshots on the A side, which they certainly delivered. Now they are right back in this game. There's absolutely no reason why they can't turn up and do the same here. As we get into the next round, there is going to be a force buy. Now, I would never recommend this when you have this sort of lead, but the way they're playing today, it could work out for them. We are going to see the Galils come out. I would prefer to get the AKs in the next, but they're going to have Galils scouts here. And the shotgun for Jacob on the CT side. You got the Nova.
Don't see that every day.
You don't see the Nova too often, do you?
The farmer.
Yeah, that's the shotgun that doesn't get much love. You've got the Mag 7, the auto shotgun. Sometimes the sword off. Don't really see that too much these days. JW kind of gave that up. But the Nova, could it deliver the frag required to allow this force fight to come into their favor?
So Zaiwu still going to the scout. Even with the win, they did that last time CT side force buy, just as we're seeing from Renegades now. But it does mean he's invested quite heavily. It's 550 currently, but again, AWP player, you want to try and see him build up the economy faster than the others. NBK, quick check, smoke down, wants to enter water. Gratisfaction responds by getting close to the smoke. It's actually pretty clever. Can't glitch on that one anymore.
Really can't.
Might as well get inside of it and see if they overlook the position, but it's out toward middle. JKS was ready for it in the window. Finds only one. He'll fall inside of the site, but Gratisfaction, we knew he was up close. He's already swung around behind. Galil is available, and it's the shotgun from Jacob to get Zaiwu.
Oh my goodness, JKS with the headshot from Hellbat from the window manages to get it done. Really impressive work in the shotgun. Nice little shout out as well. The fact that it actually got a kill is impressive. The B doors, that's where it's going to do most of its damage there. JKS, this was such a glorious shot. Took down MBK, and then all hell breaks loose. Gratisfaction pushing short as the sword is kicking off. He hits that one. Oh my god, that 180. That's beautiful. And they are going to force by in response. If Vitality can't win this round, they're 13-5 down for Nico. This might decide the outcome of the game. They can win it. They're still in it, but giving this one up, I don't think they'll have enough time to work with.
Nade through the door, but it's the wrong side of Xbox to do damage onto Apex. JKS gets it with a gun instead. Gratisfaction trying to push out on Catwalk once more. RPK, though, still inside mid.
One thing I just want to point out here, remember, we've got Cash as the second map. If the Renegades can close this out early, not even allow Vitality to really get in the zone and warmed up, it's another high fragging affair next. And the way Renegades are fragging right now, this could be a quick 2-0.
And in fairness, we did expect this to go Renegades' way. So you're right in saying cash for the Vitality squad is going to be very, very important. But you're right is also saying that if they get no momentum,
Yes,
they are in this round, it could be a massive problem for them. Momentum to the CZ as it gets up toward Catwalk. Leah's out at long, trying to shut down NBK, can't do it. P250 getting the kill. But Gratisfaction is all over the map.
yeah, he's doing a great job. What a performance in Dust 2 this has been. He's going to find a bit of contact here towards Long, making him look a little bit silly there. Didn't really do too much damage with the CZ and finished up with the Scout as well. Does he get the final frag? RPK, oh sorry, that is Zywoo, and he will be dropped as well. So that force buy doesn't get them a bomb plant. They get nothing for it. Just $1,900 into the next round. And at this point, oh my goodness, you're 13-5 down. You're going to have to take an eco. You can't buy into this one. It's just not really a thing. You're going to have to let them go 14-5 and hope you can come back in your gun rounds and start showing some form. Because right now, Renegades are all over them. Orgs are out, 3 of those, Scouts still. And indeed, they don't buy a single thing here. Just one flash, a PT-50, that's really it. And they'll send 4 players towards B. Spotting middle is MBK, trying to get numbers, crossing over, and they'll head towards mid. I think there's flash for the mid doors and see if they can challenge, but JKS might shut that down before they can even start.
Indeed, this is the mid push we talked about in the last half. It's difficult to do. They do it against pistols. Good time to get out there. You know you're not going to be picked. Flash off does allow Apex 1 kill. Does not get too carried away because Azza still has the door, and Grat, he's got the shots on the Scout toward NBK. 14-5. You're certainly right. They aren't letting anything go.
If I'm Renegade right now, I'm going to be calling something like, let's do 3 pushing up a B. Let's send a round in that's a little bit crazy. Let's make them feel very uncomfortable. If it doesn't work out, let's show we're ready to be aggressive here. I would say that would be a very viable option considering they've got Khalil's up as well. And we'll see if they do anything crazy. Maybe not. They could just keep it very standard. But the fact, you know, the sniper's coming out, albeit a Scout, I expect something a little bit different. Perhaps they're going to send 3 towards long. And flashes are coming through. They're expecting that long challenge. But they got Jacob in the pit safely. No T's committing just yet. And it looks like a very standard round from Vitality. Maybe a bit rattled after the first half.
Going toward mid again. Tempo kind of setting itself in this game. No one really taking matters in his own hands on this round, but Zywoo will. He gets 1 through the door as it goes down. Good shot on the Scout, to be fair. But Jacob's going to go back under the doorway. That could go undetected. We saw a lot of Molotovs to clear off the position in the first half. We saw a lot of kills from the first half in that same position. It's been certainly a story, a talking point so far this map. So Renegades are left now with 4 AUGs. MBK forced forward by Flames, so too is Apex, and they boost beside the stairs. Just enough of an off angle. They were hoping that it would catch Gratisfaction, but what it has done is welcomed in JKM. JKS? Jacob? JKM? He's gone in either way. It's Gratisfaction to get the shot back. That was a good call because he spotted 2. He knew they were forward to the Molotov, so they were going to be distracted. He gets out on Xbox and takes a brilliant scalp toward bench side. RPK trying to pull it back. Can't do it this time. Only 1. It is JKS this time. Alex will get taken down by Lias.
Looks like we might be done here on Dust 2. 15-5 and the loss bonus not really there. Third stage, they've got about 3K per player. Jacob managing to look his best. Like, this is the best tournament I've seen him play in a very long time. He was a star player when he was actually in the phase days and LGB as well. We actually thought of him as a world-class player. Went to Renegades and we just didn't see the most out of him. But finally, his true potential is being realized at this tournament. He turned up at the right time, I have to say. As the Scout shot connects, they have to buy at this point, obviously. They're at map point, Vitality. Doing great work with that Scout. Jacob goes down to 34. Will it be enough to allow them any sort of access to the map? This stage is just trying to get to double digits and make it look like it's a bit more competitive.
Good shot again from Gratisfaction. Bringing a Kiwi, and the Australians look better. Watch out, 3 blinded by it. Let's see on the HUD. Try and fire into a JKS's position perfectly. Walking into a slaughter at this point in time. Really, he might even find 3rd on top of this. Good shot from Zywoo to deny it. But it's still a 4-on-2, and Alex and Zywoo with very limited options. Gets a tag onto Azza through the door. It's all down to him, however. Alex is gone. This could be it for Renegades on map 1. They'll be 1 map away from achieving the greatest achievement an Australian core has ever done in CSGO, making it to the top 8 of a major. Zywoo wants to try and deny that, but that's going to be a long task.
Yeah, an agonizing one of that. 50 seconds, he's got to get 3 kills and bomb down. We'll see what he can do. certainly talented. Massive talking point at this event. We'll see if he can even get close to the A side. Not the ideal weapon to do it, and there it is. 16-5 in the first map. Renegades turn up in true style. That was a clinic on Dust 2. Absolutely perfect. Difficult to really point any flaws in it. And as I said, Vitality, it's not like they played a bad game. They're just getting run over by the great coordination, the team play, and just the basic approach to Dust 2. Really beautiful to watch. Perfect scoreline. And they move on to Cash with the win in their sales in that.
Yeah, winning their sales, absolutely, and not giving Vitality much at all. You made a good point about that. They limit them to 5 rounds. Momentum's going to be firmly against them. They've got to dig deep. Remember, they go down to 2-2. It's wide open for who comes through the bracket at this point in time. FaZe is still in the mix. There's a bunch of teams that are battling it out down there that maybe shouldn't be, so it's not going to be an easy task for them to get in, despite Chad saying that maybe Renegades was the team that would make that seem easy. You have to wonder as well, is this Renegades finally good enough that this 5 could have beat the Emus? We'll find out when we return.